Hello everyone, my name is Iggy, and the technique I will be going over today is called Color Your Emotions. And this is a technique that we used when I was in my directed practice with kindergarten through fifth grade. And working with the school therapist, this is a technique that we would use when working with students that were normally a little more shy, a little more of a difficult time talking about their emotions and how they were feeling, as well as what was bothering them during the day. So basically, the way the technique works is you guys sit down, or the way we would do it is we would all sit together in a table on a desk and bring out some crayons, bring out some colors, markers, and so on. So they have a variety of different options. What you want to do with them is have different colors chosen to identify different emotions, such as anger normally was red, feeling sad was normally blue, happy was green, sometimes happy would be blue, and so on. Um, Yellow would mean different colors, and you want to create a color chart with them, or a key, so it's easy to identify what colors represent what emotions. um, the way that the therapist would work with them, and what we would do with them is we would begin by introducing some objects, some characters, different things that would make them happy. Some of the students would write that their pets would make them happy, seeing their mom, and so on. So in that sense, if they chose the color green to mean happiness, then they would draw their pet in green. They would draw a lot of them would say their TV show, so they would draw their TVs in green, and so on. And then we would discuss what other things would make them feel different emotions. So sadness could be having to go to school, which was a lot of times it was homework. They would put that either in red or in blue, as making them feel either angry or making them feel sad about it. So we would go over with them the different objects, things, people, different characters that they would create, and they would identify and go over the emotions of what they felt towards those different um, drawings. So we would identify why it would make them feel a certain way, why something brought joy to them, why something brought sadness to them, and so on. After working with them for, I don't know, a few minutes, we would begin to go to the next step of the technique, which was to create a story with the characters about their day or about their week, or something that happened within the last day or two, that affected them a certain way. So, for example, some of the students would something the students could write in the story would be, and this is all by drawing, would be a drawing of them waking up in the morning. It would be a picture of them watching TV, and then the next picture would be them going for a walk with their parent and their dog, and then it would be whatever the next drawing was, and depending on what the drawing looked like. For example, if you have a picture of um, their parent in the color green, but their pet in the color blue, um, we could identify what occurred in that situation that caused them to feel a certain way towards the different um, people or objects or things in that day. And then some students would say something like, their pet is no longer with them, or their pet was aggressive towards them, or something that happened, and then we could go ahead and process that situation there with them. Some of the more difficult portions of this technique is that it can be a little difficult to use with students that are a little more high energy. So if a student has been identified with ADD, ADHD, or they just have a hard time staying still, sometimes this technique can be a little off-putting for them. It's not for everyone, but we found that it works really well with students that are more shy and don't like to speak as much. They are allowed to use the drawings to kind of speak for them, and it makes it a little easier for them as well. And some of the benefits for this technique really is that it's really simple. It requires almost minimal material. So all you need is some crayons or some colored pencils. We were able to, because we were in a school setting, we were able to have colored pencils, markers, crayons, and a wide variety of different materials for them to use, different kind of papers as well. But in all reality, it's really minimum materials that are needed. And the cool thing was that we were able to kind of use this technique wherever we wanted. So sometimes if it was a nice day, we were able to go outside and use this technique outside. We were able to do it in a on a desk, or we were she had a section in her office where it was a carpet, it was some pillows, and you were able to sit down with a student and use that as a way to get more comfortable, and kind of make them feel more engaged and more comfortable as well. Another one of the barriers for this technique is that, like I said, it's difficult to use with high energy students. It's difficult to use in settings where there is high traffic. So sometimes using the cafeteria might be a little off-putting, so if we have people coming in and out, and then it could be a little more difficult to use in areas with noise. So you do want a area that's quiet and they're able to concentrate and engage with you. But as far as a proper setting, it's really a wide range of where this technique can really be used. And lastly, just to wrap up the video, some of the modifications that can be used for this technique is sometimes if you really want to, you could modify it and do some painting with this technique as well. Some students are okay with doing just the crayons, the colors, pencils, or the markers, but sometimes using paint really engages the student as well. And you can change the variations, such as using a brush and paint, or doing some finger paint as well, just to have a different engagement with the student. Well, that's my technique. I just want to say one more thing, which is, the point of the technique is to be able to allow them to share their experiences, share their emotions in a nonverbal way, but being able to explore what the meaning of the color, the meaning of their painting, the meaning of their picture really means, for more than what's just being drawn. Well, thank you for watching. Thanks.